word! My guest this week is one of the biggest characters in all of sports. Everything about him is larger than life. His massive head never stops thinking. His huge heart has its own gravitational pull. He could palm a wrecking ball. And his mouth is the size of the Lincoln Tunnel. And his legendary ass is the size of a small planet. I've heard it even has its own climate. I may not be a meteorologist, but I can smell the change coming. Oh, and I hope this limo is soundproof because here he is.
All right, have a good day now. Gentlemen.
Whoa. Hello, Chuckles. I have to be honest, I was a little intimidated at the thought of meeting Charles Barkley. For a start, I know absolutely nothing about basketball. I mean, the hole is in the air? Shut the front door. Every hole should have a bottom to go with it. That's a simple law of both physics and biology where I come from. And then there's the size of the man. I guarantee you he flushes down the toilet something bigger than Frank every other day. Hopefully beak first. No offense, Frank. Even though he's about 12,000 times larger than me, we actually have a lot in common. We've both lived in Texas. Yeehaw! We've played sports professionally. We're both sports commentators, and we've both dealt with bigots. And we both love golf, although Charles abuses it horribly. I just abuse the golfers. For a change, you can't accuse me of not doing my research. I've been watching Sir Charles a lot recently, and I've noticed he's a great commentator. He listens. You never hear Charles Barkley interrupt another announcer, even if they're talking crack, smack, or whatever they call it. He just waits until they're done, and then he makes sense. Finally, he's honest. I mean, who doesn't love this man? I'll tell you who. Idiots! And if you don't believe me, just ask him. Chuck, for me, it's between you and John McEnroe for the best commentator in sports. You make basketball fun for me, and it's a game that makes absolutely no sense because the hole is in the air. That's ridiculous.
Well, number one, thank you for the compliment. You know, John McEnroe, yourself, Barry Melrose.
The golden mullet?
Yeah. I think that what I try to do is I want to make it fun.
Yeah. I'm not sure that everyone has noticed, but you completely suck at golf.
If you're a little squeamish, you might want to turn away.
It's all mental.
Hello. Sorry.
Oh.
Heard people call it a speech impediment, stuttering problem, taking a golf swing and dancing at the same time.
Wow.
I hate this game.
Why do you play? I mean, is it a cleverly concealed plan to take out some hidden anger against white things?
Well, the key is it's the only place I can get peace and quiet. You think about this.
You get peace and quiet on the golf course?
I do. Nobody wants to take pictures. Nobody wants an autograph. You're in the middle of these big, beautiful trees.
Well, you're not meant to be.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the fans are fantastic, but they're a pain in the ass sometimes. You know, you want to like just chill, and you don't get to do that in any other thing in your life, or you sit at home like an idiot all the time.
But they want a piece of you because they feel like they know you.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a compliment, but it wears you down.
Yeah.
I mean, it wears you down because it's like that every day. And the golf course is like the only place you can go and get peace and quiet.
Well, I blame Haney for the whole thing.
Hold it. You're not trying to keep your head up. Head up, head up, head up, head up, head up. I'm gonna keep holding his head up. I'm not gonna let him dip down all day. So if you were trying to keep your head up, you could keep your head up.
Jump at it. Still ducking the big head. You know, in the beginning, people thought like I was trying to do that. I'm like, first of all, nobody tries to do that.
You can't teach that.
No, really, trust me, I know. But I don't think about it unless there's a ball there. I mean,
Right.
when I make my practice swing, you know, it doesn't happen. And when there's a ball there, something is in here that's got me wired incorrectly.
But that happens to everybody at a certain level. I mean, that's called the yips when it happens on the putting green. You can see what it is that you don't, subconsciously, you don't want the responsibility that comes with hitting it because it might go somewhere where you don't want it to go. And you make 17 minor adjustments. There is a way for you to do this. And
Well, I'm open for suggestion. Just let me tell you this. The one thing that I wouldn't suggest is getting hypnotized.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got hypnotized, and all I got was a good nap. I woke up with the same crappy swing,
You did?
but I was refreshed.
Well, that's good. If you were to run for president, do you think you'd be too honest?
The players, they're so freaking annoying now. You know,
Or alternatively, just shut them up?
golf is really not my friend right now.
Is it not?
Well, golf is gonna make me kill myself, I think.
No. I mean, you may kill somebody else.
I have, trust me.
Give me your best imitation of Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Right now?
No, tomorrow. You idiot. Seriously. Here we go. Wow. When I stepped away as a player 15 years ago, I started to notice things about the game that I didn't see because I was so much on top of it. I mean, for instance, I read greens a whole lot better now than I did when I was playing because I'm looking at it from 30, 40 yards short of the green, and quite often I can't be bothered to go up there. Are there things that you see from the commentary booth that you didn't see when you played?
When you're in the game, you're so focused. You're kind of like, I'm concentrating on what I'm trying to do. Now you watch a lot of tape, you watch a lot of games, you're like, man, these guys are great.
And that's another interesting point. If I look at golfers, there's always the tendency to think that, it was harder when I played. I played with a wooden driver and a balata ball, and the wind blew harder and the hole was smaller, and that kind of thing. If you look at, say, Larry Bird's Celtics and look at the Celtics today, the players are just bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, they pass the ball quicker, they're just better than they were. It's evolution.
Well, I think what happened, especially in basketball, I got to the NBA in 1984, and there was, quote unquote, this taboo that basketball players don't lift weights because you'll get too big and too muscular. Late in my career, every team started hiring strength and conditioning coaches. Now every team has one, and guys live in the weight room. Sports across the board has gotten better, plain and simple.
Just bigger and stronger.
Yes.
Well, what did you do in the weight room? Because you were described when you were at Auburn, I believe, as the round mound of rebound. Was there a special buttock exercise that you did in the weight room?
Yeah, called eating pizza.
I think if you were politically correct, that people would actually faint in their living rooms. They would just fall off the sofa.
I think it's really important to be honest when you're on TV and radio. Man, these people believe what we say. They don't realize a lot of these guys on TV and radio just got a stick going. They don't believe half the crap that they say. I don't ever, and I know, people say, what's the toughest thing about your job? Criticizing players.
Yeah.
Because I've been in their shoes. They don't want to have a bad game. They don't want to hit a bad shot. But if they have a bad game, I'm not going to get on TV like an idiot and say they had a good game.
Yeah. If you were to run for president, which incidentally I think you should do you think you'd be too honest to do that?
David, it doesn't matter what you say. Half the people are going to like it, and half the people are going to dislike it.
But it gives you freedom?
It does give me freedom. Then you figure out whether you're right or wrong is dictated by whether the person agrees with you. And I said, oh, this how this work. It doesn't matter what I say. If somebody disagree, they're gonna criticize it or they're gonna get mad I said it. So then you have to sit back and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I might as well say what I want to say if half the people gonna like it or dislike it. And that's how I develop my personality.
You like to have a little wager every now and then in
Yes.
Vegas. You like to have a little wager on the golf course as well, I'm sure. Which of these candidates would you pick for a running mate? A, Sarah Palin.
She's got the hotness factor.
There is that.
Yes, I'm not a Republican, but she's a very attractive woman.
And a good shot.
That's the only thing make you nervous. I don't think you want women around you who are good shots.
Yeah. B, Tiger Woods.
He's my brother, and I love him, and I miss him.
I miss him too. C, Bill Laimbeer. Sorry.
If I take Sarah Palin as my running mate, he's gonna be the first person I want her to shoot.
I feel strangely uncomfortable in the workplace. No,
No, you're fine.
I'm okay.
It bothers me that America's really rich people screwing poor people. That's the thing that I'm probably most proud of my whole career.
Children are our most precious natural resource. You know, they always will be. And I forgot what the hell I was going to say. Do you ever start a sentence, you know, and it starts really beautifully and then it just fucking goes nowhere? I'm telling a joke here. Can we get a little quiet, please? Charles, what's black in Hanksman's ceiling?
I don't know.
An Irish electrician.
They got black Irish people?
Oh, yes, I'm black Irish.
I've been noticing your advertisements on your new show,
Oh, really?
and I thought I saw the word pretty.
I don't write the copy.
I mean, because I think a lot about you, but pretty wasn't one of the words.
Was it not? But you think a lot about me? I feel strangely uncomfortable in the workplace. No,
No, you're fine.
I'm okay.
But I don't want to look at you as pretty.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough by me. I don't feel pretty very often, except, you know, when I'm with McCord. Despite all of his outstanding accomplishments, not unlike me, Charles has run into his share of troubles. As an undersized power forward, he always had to be more aggressive on the court. Sometimes this backfired. He once accidentally spat on a young girl after being taunted by an older fan. More recently, he was charged with a DUI. So, despite being loved by the masses, we've gotten to see that he's still human. I want to read you a quote because, I mean, you were very, very intense at one point, you know, on the court. And you said afterwards, after this incident, I was fairly controversial, I guess, but I regret only one thing, the spitting incident.
Yes.
You know, it taught me a valuable lesson. It taught me that I was getting way too intense during the game. It let me know I wanted to win way too bad.
Yeah.
I had to calm down. I wanted to win at all costs, but instead of playing the game the right way and respecting the game, you know, I thought only about winning. So looking at that through the spectrum that today's sports world defines, players, coaches, all take it too damn seriously, do they?
They do, because there's two incidents that really, the spin incident and the DUI.
Yeah.
The spin incident, I've seen it with other guys after I had to step back. Saw it with Mike Tyson, saw it with Dennis Rodman, I saw it with Ron Artest. If you play on the edge, it's just a matter of when you're gonna go over the edge.
Go over.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that, I went over the edge. And the DUI thing was interesting because you never think about drinking and driving until you get a DUI or you have an accident. And I was so lucky that I didn't hurt anybody or myself. But I had to talk to all my friends. Because think about it, I tell people, anytime you go to dinner, you sit down, 100% of the time, the first thing the waiter or the waitress asks you is do you want to drink? And I never thought about getting behind the wheel drinking because I'd never gotten a DUI and I never had an accident. And it taught me a very valuable lesson.
Yeah.
But sports to me, I love sports. I love sports.
Yeah.
Sports have given me every single thing in my life. I love it.
And we get paid to watch them.
Listen, every time I get paid, I like, these people are suckers. They're paying me to watch something that I would watch anyway.
Anyway.
I mean, but the players, they're so freaking annoying now. You know, you can say 10 great things about them, and you say one bad thing,
And that's what they concentrate on.
And that's the one thing they concentrate on.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I've been saying for 2 years you're the best basketball player in the world. I say one thing about the decision, or y'all coming on stage dancing around, and now all of a sudden I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm like, please give me a break. You're the best basketball player in the world. Why can't you say thank you to that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just so, it drives you crazy.
Yeah. Or alternatively, just shut the up.
You know, I figured out that I was fat.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I hear the word hate used all the time.
What I try to do, I try to talk racial sometime, but not racist.
What's something that you really care about that the average person watching wouldn't know? I gotta tell you, there's more room between you and me than I expected.
You know, I figured out that I was fat.
You did?
Yeah, I've got to lose about 80, 85.
Right.
Because I don't want to drop dead.
No, I don't think anybody wants you to. Well, there might be a couple.
Yeah.
We're talking about sports like football and basketball and baseball and now even golf, and there's still a racial divide there. You seem to be the one person that has managed to just negate that completely. When I think of you, I don't think of you as a color at all, and people love you for it. It's like you're already on the other side of a problem which didn't exist for you in the first place.
Well, what I try to do, I try to talk racial sometime, but not racist. I like to joke about race. That takes the evil intent out of it.
And it adds a dignity to it.
Yeah, because what happens in life, people never talk about race until something bad happens. But at that point, it's racist. Why do we have to wait for something bad to happen? I wish we would have more, sit here with me and you have normal conversation where nobody's angry, nobody's mad. But that never happens because everybody's afraid to talk about race.
What's something that you really care about that the average person watching wouldn't know?
That helping poor people means a great deal to me. I think America is the greatest place in the world. But it bothers me that America's really rich people screwing poor people. They got the worst neighborhoods, and they have let our public school system go to the toilet. And I feel sadness. We have a moral obligation to make sure these kids get their education.
And that was one area, because you had the sort of controversy about not wanting to be a role model, but that's one area where you actually have to be a role model to a certain extent.
The role model thing was really for black kids, because black kids are brainwashed. They think that the only way they can be successful is through athletics and entertainment. And I want them to know they're not going to play in the NBA. There's only 400 players in the NBA. Realistically, there's only probably going to be 20, 30 jobs a year in the NBA. I knew when I went to Nike to make the role model commercial, it was going to be controversial.
I am not a role model. Parents should be role models. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
And to be honest with you, that's the thing that I'm probably most proud of my whole career. Because anytime I hear people talking about that commercial, it starts that debate. And I want these kids, especially the black kids, because, you know, I'm not afraid to say it, white kids get their education. These black kids are not getting their education. You shouldn't have to rush for 1,000 yards or get 20 points and 10 rebounds to be successful out of poverty. That disturbs me greatly.
Yeah, we're coming from sports, and that's the great thing about sports, is it brings people together.
Yes.
And I got to tell you that I can't think of anyone in sports who does a better job of that than you, my friend.
Thank you.
You really do. You bring people from every side of every chasm that's out there, and it's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Charles.
My pleasure, my man.
Well, that's it for the Feherty Show tonight. The ride's over. Oh, and by the way, it's Haney's fault. Alrighty. Where are we going?
Going up here.
We are? Dude, I'm proud of you.